So before I start off the video, I do reference to the settings. So I just put my move forward to up scroll wheel and my jump to down scroll wheel, and I put my crouch on hold. Okay, hello everybody, welcome to our very first ever video, and today I am going to be showing you some very basic movement tech. Because obviously a lot of people these days like to just hop into Apex Legends and, well, pretend it's like Call of Duty when it's really not. Because, I mean, one of the big things about Call of Duty, especially even on controller, the aim assist isn't as strong, your movement is a bit more sophisticated, and you need to really know when to use it. So, the first thing I want to teach you guys is the basics, which is running and slide jumping. So, best thing to do is, well, the basic is to run. It's not just about just running. There's an even quicker way when you run, which is by putting your gun away, which gives you a little bit of a speed boost. And of course you'll see that running without a gun is so much faster. But if you want to increase your speed to get around the map, to get to a better position, rotate quicker than most people who don't know this, is your sliding and jumping. So if you were to slide, it gives you a little bit of a boost of momentum, as you can see. And if you want to carry on that momentum, at the end of your slide you would like to jump. So that'll be to whatever you have your jump key set to. So you want to slide and jump. You want to run, slide and jump. That's very basic movement covered over, so that would be probably useful information between the ranks of rookie and silver. That would easily get you to silver, maybe even possibly gold. So yeah, we're going to move on to the next movement tech, which would be wall jumping. Now, a lot of people may have seen wall jumping from YouTubers like Fade and all them crazy movement tech players who love to show off and do all that crazy stuff. So I'll show you how to do it today. So a really simple way of doing it is using the tech that I showed you before, which is the sliding and jumping. So after you jump, after that slide, you want to be aiming at the wall at a 45-degree angle. So just like this. So as you're in the middle of that climb, just as you start it, when you hear like a weird audio cue, which is usually like a noise, so it would sound something like this. That weird kind of like mantle noise. Just after you hear that, you want to jump again. So you want to run, slide, jump, jump. And you see how far you jump. So imagine using this in like a fight. You want to run, slide, jump, and then you'll be able to play around them more and gain the advantage from that. And as whilst they're shooting at you, you will take less damage. So obviously using this technique would be really good in situations, maybe like a 1v2 situation with the two people shooting at you and you might have nowhere to really go. Let's say there's like a doorway here, and the only way you can go is if someone here, someone's trying to shoot you behind you, is to go to this wall and then jump away, and then you can go run away, heal up, and then go to your 1v2 again. So it's a really useful movement tech. Really easy, really basic. You can do it on controller as well. Just run, slide, jump. So that's like the super basic movement covered. There's not really much else you really need to know to get into like a decent rank. You also have edge sliding, which again is pretty basic, but it's really hard to use in most situations because using your edge sliding and then shooting someone, it can be a bit difficult depending on the angle, if they're moving, how you're moving. Because the speed can be kind of like a shock sometimes, but you do get used to it over a short period of time because it's really easy to learn. So the way you do this is by mantling up to an object, simply just by running up to it and jumping. And then just as you landed on top of that object, so just after that, so just as you land on top, you just want to slide. You want to mantle and then slide. And you gain so much speed off that. And again, that is usable on keyboard and mouse and controller. So yes, another thing for wall jumping is that you see what these small objects, if you were to do what I just told you then, you see how you just climb onto it, you just mantle it, and obviously you can't wall jump off it. It's really basic to counter this. It's just when you go up to it, if you want to go to the right, you just hold down your right directional key, or you move your stick to the right, so then you carry on with that momentum without mantling, because it will cancel the mantle whilst you're on that wall. Just like that. Moving on to zip lines. So zip lines are, again, very basic, very easy to use, and again, can be used on controller. and keyboard and mouse. One of the really basic things is zipline jumping, which is super jumping. Simply just press your interact key, which for me is E, and your jump key, which will be done like this. It gives you like a little bit of like a leap. So this person's trying to shoot at you, go bang, and you'll go, oh right, bang, bang, look at that. And just with that simple movement tech, you've pretty much broken your opponent's ankles. So it's very easy to learn. Again, keyboard and mouse and controller can use it, so it's very highly recommended if you're near a zipline. Use it to break your opponent's ankles. And of course, with zipline jumping, you can get a bit more sophisticated. You can use it twice. So you jump off by zipline jumping, super jumping, and then jump back on, and then you can keep doing it. So we've done just by super jumping, zipline jumping, looking back at the zipline and doing it again and again and again, like that. Usually you can do it twice, you can sometimes do it 3 times. It just depends on the situation and how you're trying to avoid your opponent, but normally you'd only ever really have to do it twice, like that. It's really good to have buildings that have like multiple floors, because you can literally just zip line straight into that floor so quickly they won't even be able to see you, so you'll have the advantage and they'll be confused. So yeah, that's another really good mechanic to learn. Now there is this other mechanic which can be pretty hard for a lot of players, and it really just depends on your setup and your FPS, which would be super gliding. Now super gliding is very hard to do. So yeah, it's really hard to do because you have to press your crouch button, which for me is C, and your jump button, which is my scroll wheel, or you can use spacebar depending on what's more comfortable. I've learned it the way that you press C in the scroll wheel, but it is all down to preference and how good your setup is. It's pretty much what you want to do, just like edge sliding. Just as you get to the top of your mantle, you want to jump and then crouch a single frame after you've jumped, just like this. Now, that probably looks so much easier than it is, but trust me, it'll take a lot of time, lots of practice, and it is true. The lower FPS you have, the easier it is, but also the lower FPS you have, the harder it is to do certain movement tech without missing the windows that you can actually hit them in. Now, there is this other movement tech, which I'm going to move on to next. Now, there is another movement tech, which I do want to talk about, which is mantle jumping. It's not a necessity and it is doable on controller. I've never tried it myself. I used to play on controller, but I moved on to keyboard and mouse. I have seen a few players be able to do it on controller. I don't know how easy it is or if it's even the same way you do it on keyboard and mouse, but I'll be showing you how to do it on keyboard and mouse. So the way to do it is you want to ride a zipline. You want to jump, right? So as you jump, you want to keep holding E. So you want to mantle onto this, still holding down E, and as you can see your character mantle, you want to press S and then W whilst jumping. You want to zipline, mantle, S to let go of the mantle, and then just a millisecond after, switch to your W, and whilst you press W and you're still holding down E this entire time, you press your scroll wheel or whatever your jump key is, because then the second you attach that zipline, you also send yourself flying after you do. So technically it's just like a normal zipline jump, which I showed you before, but you do it off a mantle, which brings you even further to give a bit more momentum. So this is what it finally looks like, and I'll do it full speed and slow motion so you can see. All together, it should look like this. Also, if you notice, to make it easier so you can detect the zipline, is that you want to look slightly down, just so then the zipline's in your field of view, so it makes it interactable, so then you can jump off it. That's the only real reason why you look down. So it's simple. You want to zipline, holding down E the entire time, jump, mantle up, cancel the mantle, still holding down E, so then you interact with the zipline whilst looking down, and then press W to send yourself launching forward. Just like that. There is a movement tech which is only doable on PC or controller if you use configs, but well, no one really likes controller config players. Attach strafing is where in the middle of the air you change your direction. That will be done as at the start of this video I would have told you to change some of your bindings, so your jump will be down scroll wheel and your forward button will be up scroll wheel. This is because when you're in the air, if you press your up scroll wheel, it pretty much spams your W key loads of times. And for some reason, this makes the game change your direction in the air after a jump. I can't explain the reasons to why that is, but it just does. So the way to tap strafe, which is to run, slide, jump, and then scroll wheel up whilst using a directional left or right button. So let's say if you want to tap strafe to the left, you want to slide, jump, let go of your W key after you jumped. So slide, jump, let go. But as you let go of your W key, switch over to like an A or D key. You want to run, slide, jump, and you want to do that. You want to kind of like jump to the left, so then you know you got it right. So run, slide, jump, directional. Once you got that down and that feels a bit more comfortable, you want to run, slide, jump, scroll wheel up. And obviously do it again for the right side just so you get comfortable doing it in every direction. So in whatever fight you're in, you can evade people's bullets. And of course, the better you get, the more likely you'll be able to learn to do 180s, which is just holding your scroll wheel up just for longer. But obviously, if you're in a fight, it's so good because let's say this guy here is trying to shoot me, he's challenging me. You want to tap strafe to the left so you can get a nice shot at him. So you want to put your gun away, do it. They would have just seen me jump and fly to the left. They would be so confused, like what is going on, and I would have just gunned them down in my new location from where I just tap strafe. I think that'll be it for the video. If you like this and this actually seemed to have helped you in the field, please leave a like, subscribe. You know how it is. Comment on the video of what you would maybe like to see more. Would you maybe like to see some gameplay of me using this movement tech? If you have any more questions about movement, you can always put that down in the comments as well. Of course, follow my Twitch, which will be in the link down below. But yes, until next time, thank you for watching.